And welcome back to Fairbury Speedway for round number 5 of the Dirt Car Esports Street Stock Series here at Fairbury Speedway. My name is Chase Rodman alongside of Mike Warren. And we are just about ready to get going here for tonight's 35-lap feature event. The field is on the grid, so let's go down tonight's starting lineup. On the pole of this one, it's going to be the number 8 car of Cam Campbell, and outside of him is last week's feature winner, the 18 car of JC Floyd. Row number 2 on the inside, the 100 of Christopher Hill, and outside of him is the 27 car of Brady Thompson. Row number 3, get the number 2 car of Ty Dickinson on the inside, and outside of him is the 64 car of Logan Catellis. Row 4, the 71 of Daniel Stifler, and outside of him is the number 5 of Isaac Salas. Row 5, the 84 Bryce Dickinson, and the 01 of Caden Reynolds. Row 6, the 822 Tyler Jackson, and outside of him is the 005 of Ian Good. Row 7, the 52 Billy Northcutt, and outside of him is the 121 car of Kevin Davis. Row number 9, I believe, is where we're at now, is the number 76 of Robert Palmer and the 157 car of Drew Hopkins. Row 10, the 43 of Grady Ehrman and the number 7 of Evan Hinkle. Row 11, the 77 of John Quill and the 03 of Dylan Thomas. And the final row for this one, actually the final row, the 45 of Kyle Jarrett and the 23 of Brandon Sherpke. Actually, we do have one other car. That is the number 11 of Dustin Fryer. I think I missed somebody on the starting grid there, but if I did, Mike, let me know, but maybe I did get all of them.
I think you did. I think you got all.
Okay. I think I just kind of messed up the rows a little bit there. We green? No, we're not. We're not green already. We're coming to the green, I believe, here next time by. Yep, pace truck just pulled in, and we are set to go for round number 5 of the Dirt Car Esports Street Stock Series. 35 times around the Fairbury Speedway. Cam Campbell and JC Floyd on the front row. Here we go, Mike.
Green flag is out. Campbell going to nose ahead as they go down to turn number 1 and 2. Will come off the top. Quick crossover move by Floyd as Campbell gets out of shape. And we got cars in. We got cars around down the back straightaway, and a ton of them yellows out on the speedway immediately.
A good run for him, that 27 car. We've seen several drivers do that, where they just show up one time and they run good, and maybe that's the case here with Brady Thompson. We'll see if he can hang on as we go back to the green flag. 34 laps to go, as JC Floyd's looking to be a 2-time back-to-back winner with Dirt Car Esports Street Stock Series, and there goes Thompson now up to 2nd. Oh, we're wrecking. Oh, no, we're not.
And we're staying clean for now. Knock on wood. 4 wide coming off at turn number 4 that time. As they roll up into turn number 1 and 2, it's all JC Floyd, but behind him, it's a gaggle of cars fighting for position as they head down the back straightaway, and it's going to allow Floyd and Thompson to get away a little bit as a number of drivers all through there. Hopkins in there as well. See Tyler Jackson through there, Stifler. A lot of guys trying to jockey for position here in the early go.
157 and Drew Hopkins is making some moves on the very inside of the racetrack right now. I like what I'm seeing out of that car. Gets by Bryce Dickinson, and Hopkins now almost into the top 5, looking to get by the 64, the yellow car of Logan Catellis. So good run here. He needed it. He was 5th in points, especially with the issues for Kyle Jarrett out of Carlisle tonight. Could be a big points haul for Drew Hopkins if he can hang on. Up front, though, it's all about JC Floyd as he is pulled away by 0.7 of a second over Brady Thompson.
Works its way off at turn number 2 again. Still Floyd right there ahead of Thompson as they come through the corner. And don't forget, Hopkins had to come through the LCS a little bit earlier too, so he's doing a good job holding on, just trying to get into that top 5 positioning as he's trying to take advantage as they come off at turn number 2 this time. They're still about 3 wide off the corner, but right now holding on to that 5th spot is still Catellis in that bright yellow car as cars still trying to work their way through.
Catellis looking for his best run of the season. Up front, though, oh, a big slider attempt by Cole Curry to get by, and he is going to crash. He collects Chris Hill, and we stay green. Chris Hill did a 360 off Cole Curry, and we stay green.
That's impressive. I mean, you don't see that very often, especially on a bullring track. I'm more impressed that nobody got around to hit him than I am that he actually kept it going. But as we remain under green here, we approach the 1/3 mark of this event. It's still all JC Floyd looking to go back-to-back, and now the yellow comes out onto the speedway.
Yeah, car involved this time, Ian Good, the 005. Oh, wow, it started up ahead of him as one car just walled. Oh, it was Tyler Jackson. Tyler Jackson was up on top of the wall in turn 1 after getting together with Chris Hill. They were 4 wide down the front straightaway, and Jackson just rode up on top of the wall. I gotta imagine there's some damage to the rear end of that car. He also collected Evan Hinkle, like I said, Ian Good, Cam Campbell, Robert Palmer. A pretty big incident there, and we'll have to keep. Oh no, Jackson's in the pit area. Jackson is now in the pits, and Billy Northcutt has damage as well. You know, tough deals for these high point guys.
And the crazy thing about it is, you know, Hopkins comes into this. I'm trying to do math here, so bear with me for a second. Roughly 70 points behind your point leader. He's only going to gain a couple of points, so really this is a big night for Kyle Jarrett if he can hold on and get into this. And it's going to be 66 points back. Thank you to our producer, Mick, for being able to put that up there so I don't have to do math, because trust me, that's a bad thing.
Yeah, and looking back at qualifying, Kyle Jarrett did out-qualify again Drew Hopkins, so he actually gained more points on him there. So yeah, Jarrett with the recovery of the season after starting dead last in the last chance showdown. Obviously, he's still got to finish this race. We're only 9 laps in, so right now he is really looking strong, but if he can't finish it off, then it's all for naught here. So it looks like we might be ready to go back green. No, we still got the lights on top of the pace truck. JC Floyd has been the race leader the entire way through, just about. After starting back in the second position, he was able to get by Cam Campbell on lap number 1. Brady Thompson, good run for him in second. Good run for Logan Catellis in third. Hopkins fourth, and Curry is in fifth. Bryce Dickinson, Caden Reynolds, Kyle Jarrett, Daniel Stifler, and behind them looks like it is Dylan Thomas, the top 10, as there are a couple cars that are not exactly where they should be on the running order right now with that huge wreck, as we are ready to go back to the green flag. JC Floyd and Brady Thompson lead them back down with what looks to be 25 laps to go.
But going to go right back to the bottom, 3 wide for that number 2 spot, as Catella's going to work his way through. He's side by side with Hopkins, as Hopkins trying to roll in on the outside lane and trying to get by that 64 car. They're wheel to wheel for third down the back straightaway. Kyle Jarrett right there, 1 spot out of a top 5 run, as he'll roll the bottom of the racetrack. But out front, it's all JC Floyd as Thompson continues to try to close in.
So far, Kyle Jarrett has a 75% ratio of finishing inside the top 5. He's done it 3 out of 4 races so far, and right now is looking to get by Colt Curry for the 5th position. Now he looks to get by Catellis as he gets drilled by Colt Curry. Now on the inside, Jarrett makes the pass, so Catellis loses 2 spots here on lap number 12. Not a good lap at all for the bright yellow 64 car. As we're making our way around, the yellow is back out, though, as it looks like Shirky, maybe one of the cars involved here. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research here and see what exactly happened, as the yellow's out here on lap number 12. And no, the yellow was for Dustin Fryer.
Yes, Fryer and Tyler Jackson got together. Tyler Jackson's back up in this thing after everything, so he must have got everything fixed, no problem, as he's back up because he was rolling the bottom of the racetrack. You see Fryer come around. Jackson gets into him. Jackson keeps it going, but he's back in contention, rolling into the top 10 of this thing already. It's that school of street stock driving you were talking about.
Yeah, I do need to. You definitely need to sign up for the class. It's only a one-time payment, $49.99. You can get you everything you need for the Chase Rodman School of Street Stock Racing. So $49.99. If anybody out there is listening, I can show you how to drive these cars. Pretty much, you never lift, and that's just how you drive them. So bounce off the wall a little bit, bounce off the other cars. Rubbins Racing, you know, that's kind of the motto of the entire school. So hopefully you'll have some time to hit us up. It's like a 2-hour class there, Mike. I hope you have enough time for that.
I think I could find it. Well, I would say that, but the off season, well, it's almost over already.
It is, yeah, it really is. And you got Sunshine Nationals coming up here just really soon. And you know, I keep seeing all these new guys joining. You got 14 full timers or something like that.
As of now, and that number could still grow. That's
do you know some information?
I do not know any information at this point, but there's a couple guys that we, you know, you don't have to sign up before the initial first race starts as of now. I mean, you can wait until that first day, of course. So we may see other guys sign up before it's all over, but it's going to be a pretty cool and wild class to see who picks up the win. And we just put an article today about those 14 drivers, the class of 2023. You can read that at worldofoutlaws.com.
How many rookies there? It sound like 5 or so?
As of now, yes, it's pretty good class. I mean, Nick Hoffman in there, Todd Cooney, Dustin Walker as well, Peyton Freeman, and Logan Martin out of West Plains, Missouri, who set quick time last year at Peevely. So it's going to be a good group of guys to see who takes home Rookie of the Year, along with the guys that are going to be fighting for a championship. And there's a lot of big names coming back.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that. Brandon Shepard was one of them, I believe. And then I think, Dennis Erb, is he back again to defend?
Dennis Erb's back to defend. You got Chris Madden, Tanner English, Max Blair, names from last year. It's going to be fun, but we got to figure out who's going to win this thing first. We're going to go back to green.
Yeah, we are going back green right here. JC Floyd back on the hammer. Drew Hopkins, like we mentioned, from 17th now up into the 3rd spot, looking to get by Brady Thompson for P2. Thompson, a little bit of a wall ride off of turn number 2, is able to maintain 2nd, but Hopkins just rolling the inside of the racetrack real nice with Kyle Jarrett in his back pocket as they roll down the front straightaway.
Drive. There's a lot of cars still fighting for position. Kyle Jarrett going to work to the inside of Hopkins that time off the corner as Tompkins gets back by for that number 2 spot, or Thompson rather, as he rolls on the outside lane. Jarrett's still right there side by side with Curry looking for 3rd as they come down the front straightaway. And these 4 are battling. Floyd's starting to get away a little bit off the corner. Meanwhile, there goes Thompson around as Curry gets into him. That's going to cause a yellow flag coming off turn 2.
Yep, caution is out for the 27 car. Brady Thompson was having a great run there, and actually, I don't know what exactly happened there. Drew Hopkins threw a huge slider on him for 2nd, and Thompson went to check up, and I think Colt Curry wasn't expecting it. He got in the back of him, spun him around, and Thompson got hit by another car and 2 more cars, and then he actually went back to the pit area. So, wow, a tough night there for the debut for Brady Thompson. That was a huge move out of Hopkins, and if he can win this thing from 17th, that might be the farthest back we've ever seen a driver win one of these Dirt Car Esports Street Stock Series races. Run here tonight as well. So, wow, JC Floyd, impressive in limited starts here, and he could very well be a factor to contend for this championship if he can win here tonight and maybe get another one next week.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see here, and you know, this is not ruling out that there's not trouble to your top guys anymore. It looks like Jarrett and Hopkins are both going to take a big advantage tonight, but they've still got a long way to go left in this series. That's for darn sure.
Yeah, absolutely. As it looks like Brady Thompson does return to the Speedway, and we are going with single file restarts here, which is going to be huge. I don't know where you want to be at though, Mike. Where do you think you want to be at for the restart? Top or bottom? If you were double file, where would you want to be at? I mean, obviously we're going back to single file, but it seemed like maybe the bottom had a little bit of advantage, I feel like.
I think the bottom coming down the front straightaway, but if you can pull the slide off smoothly through turn number 1 and 2, I think that's where you want to be just to get your momentum up a little bit. Because as you can see, Chase, this track's just about all slick. There's not much grip left, maybe a little bit on the bottom to where you can start on entry of the corner, and you can see that spot maybe on the back straightaway right before you start entering the corner. Other than that, though, it's tough.
Yeah,
I think you gotta keep. I think it's really you just gotta keep the momentum. But to get that start, I think you want to go low to high on entry in turn number 1 and 2.
Well, we know JC Floyd's going to like this single file restart as we are coming back to green this time by. Like we mentioned, 19 laps to go here in this race at Fairbury Speedway for round number 5, the Dirt Car Esports Street Stock Series. Floyd, Hopkins, and Jarrett. Hopkins from 17th, Jarrett from 22nd. Green flag is back in the air for car number 18.
Floyd going to bring him down into turn number 1 and 2. He immediately goes to the top. Hopkins going to follow him as they roll off the corner. Jarrett going to go through the middle as they come down the back straightaway. 2 wide battle behind them. Meanwhile, as the Dickinson and Cotella is going to be side by side. Tyler Jackson and Stifler both sticking their nose in there as well as we go through, as we get about the halfway point of this feature event.
Closing in on lap number 20 here. We did cross the halfway point. Hopkins staying right with JC Floyd. Both those guys running the top side of the racetrack here. About one, maybe half a car length off the wall if they can do it just right. They're definitely not trying to wall ride right now because you might be able to wall ride for a couple tries there, Mike, but once you start hitting it too many times, it starts to create some damage to that race car. So I think they're going to try and hold those cars together as best they can and maybe utilize a little bit of wall riding towards the end of the race when they know there ain't much laps left.
That's probably the best course of action in this one, but right now Floyd doing a great job of staying ahead. He's got that couple car length advantage. Jackson really the only one down on the bottom. He's worked his way into the top 5 now, but he's going to work on Catella's trying to get that 4 spot, and I think he's got something down there on the very bottom of the racetrack, Chase.
Last time by, he was faster than your race leader and the entire top 3. He was faster than 2nd and 3rd by 1/10 of a second. So Tyler Jackson definitely has the bottom side rolling. He gets by Catellas. He's up to 4th position now after being involved in a couple of incidents here. And the yellow's out. Oh, right in front of the leaders. There was a car upside down. and I'm not really sure who that was. I think it might have been Colt Curry, and yes, that is the case. Curry upside down after getting collected with, I believe it was Robert Palmer. Palmer got sideways and collected Kevin Davis. So a 3-car incident here on the back straightaway. All 3 of those drivers heading back to the pit area with 13 laps remaining in this one. Floyd, well, he was fast there, but like I mentioned right before that caution came out, Tyler Jackson running the best laps of the race, and that yellow might play into his advantage.
It might play into his advantage, Chase, but I also got to wonder if he needs it to stay green in this situation, just because to keep that momentum up, and it might take 1 or 2 to be able to wind it down on the bottom.
Yeah, we'll see if maybe those guys behind, or in front of him, I should say, saw if he was gaining some ground on him, and maybe they'll, run down there as well to try and take that line away. So Tyler Jackson, he might have found something on the very, very inside of the speedway, and if he did, I wouldn't be surprised to see, Drew Hopkins or, maybe J.C. Floyd go down there and try and take that spot away. These guys are smart racers. They know when the line's changing. They know how to look at their rearview mirrors. They probably got spotters telling them what's going on behind them. So I wouldn't be surprised to see any of those guys in the top 3 jump down to the inside here.
One thing I wonder, though, in this one, and you're in the middle of a point battle if you're Hopkins and Jared, and they both coming from the back, I don't think you're ever satisfied with second and third. But, like, if they see the opportunity, they'll take it. But they're also going to be a little more patient. Be like, all right, we worked our way all the way up here. It's a good night at the end of the day.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, Kyle Jarrett really, he should be, thanking his lucky stars here that he's even in the 3rd spot after what has happened here tonight. Qualified great, 2nd overall in qualifying. But after that, the wheels came off the 45 car. Did not finish the heat race. Had to start dead last in the last chance showdown. And now things are looking back up for him here as he went from 22nd to 3rd. As it looks like we are once again single file restart, but the lights still illuminating on top of the iRacing safety truck here. So still, how many cars are on the lead lap here? We still got 22 cars on the lead lap. So if something happens to one of these guys, they could still finish very, very far back in the running order. Now the truck has the lights out. He's going to pull into the infield. And J.C. Floyd going to try and hang on. I think he's led every single lap so far of this one. And we'll see if he can keep it up. J.C. Floyd, the driver out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, brings him back to the green flag.
Floyd getting a quick 2-car length advantage. Jared's going to go straight to the bottom, seeing if he finds anything. But that's the thing. Jared's on the bottom. Jackson's a lane lower on the bottom, if that's even possible, as he's looking to get by Catellis right now for 4th off of turn number 4. Looks like he's going to get it at the line. And keep an eye on Tyler Jackson, as again, he's going a lane lower. But that time in front of him, Jared kind of mirrored it a little bit.
Jared pulled up alongside of Drew Hopkins right there, but if Jared can do what Jackson's doing, I think he might have one of the best cars on the track to maybe pull off the victory here tonight, as Jackson, like you said, is a complete lane lower than Jared. Now 2 lanes lower right there off the corner, and Kyle Jarrett has something for Drew Hopkins. If he can catch up to J.C. Floyd and get to the left rear, I think that's when maybe he would abandon the bottom, throw a slider, and then finish the race on the top potentially.
10 laps left to go here in this feature event. Jared still working the inside lane, trying to find something to get by Hopkins. Jackson decided to take a look up top to see if there was anything there that time, but then he goes back to the bottom. But time's starting to run out as Floyd continues to work the top, and now Jared going to go right back to the very bottom to try to get by Hopkins.
Oh, and he might have him right there up alongside of him, but what Jared and Jackson need here is a battle between the 157 and the 18 car. That would really bring that bottom side into play here if those guys can maybe get into a slider battle. But man, Jared is good right now. All of a sudden, that car has come to life, gets alongside Hopkins, takes the 2nd spot for a moment. Hopkins has momentum though.
He continues to roll the bottom. Jackson, I wonder if he just ran out of anything on the bottom of the racetrack, as he's been staying away there, or he knows he just can't get by him off Jared's lane. I think he's just searching a little bit here to see what he can get, because again, after that wreck a little earlier, he's playing with house money. But now Jared taking another look under Hopkins for a second. Hopkins got a little out of shape coming off before that time at the line. I think Jared might have had the spot. Looks like it's Hopkins, but it was close.
And these lap times are super, super close between the top 3 guys at the moment, right? That last time by, it was J.C. Floyd with a 14.4. Here comes Jackson now to the inside, 3 wide for 2nd. And Jackson all of a sudden turns the afterburners on with less than 5 laps to go.
Holy hot potato, what a battle as they work off a turn number 2. Floyd still trying to get away as they're 3 wide for 2nd. Jackson now looking for the runner-up spot off the corner, but the momentum going to stay with Hopkins just at the line. And oh baby, what a battle as they get closer to Floyd.
And Hopkins hit the wall right there. That's going to give the advantage to the 822 of Tyler Jackson. Floyd is pulling away while they battle by not by much though, because the 822 is running some good lap times of 15.416 for Jackson and a 15.493. Here comes Jackson within 2 car lengths of JC Floyd as they come by this time by 2 laps to go.
Jackson works the bottom of the racetrack one more time. Can't get it that time here with 2 to go. Hopkins still on the top. Jared, the one that looks like he may be on the outside looking in as he falls back a little bit. The question is Floyd's momentum going to be enough to hold on as Jackson's still finding something on the bottom of the racetrack? This time by a white flag is out. Who's it going to be?
White flag, 1 to go from Fairbury. Tyler Jackson to the inside of JC Floyd. Down the back straight for the final time. Good run off of 2. Does Floyd go to the bottom? He does. Jackson going to drive it in deep. Does he give him the door? He does. Moves him out of the way, and Tyler Jackson is going to take the win on the final corner here tonight at Fairbury Speedway. Tyler Jackson does it. He leads the only lap that matters here tonight at Fairbury and grabs his first win of the season with the Dirt Car Esports Street Stock Series. The former champion does it in exciting fashion here tonight, Mike.
I tell you what, if you're JC Floyd, do you regret going to the bottom right there? Oh, that's a tough question, because I think if he stays on the top, his momentum carries.
It's either that or Jackson threw a slider and parked it on his nose there. It's hard to say. I think JC Floyd, he didn't even know what to do right there. I think either way, Jackson was either going to run into the side of him or throw him a slider. So Floyd, a great run still. You know, he's batting what? I don't know what the batting average there is, but
missed the podium. He's finished 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in 3 races.
Yeah, that's pretty darn good. So Jackson wins it. Floyd 2nd. Hopkins from 17th to 3rd. Kyle Jarrett finishes up 4th. Caden Reynolds in 5th. Logan Catella 6th. Bryce Dickinson 7th. Daniel Stifler 8th. Ty Dickinson 9th. And 10th went to Dustin Fryer. So, wow, that was pretty wild there between the top 4. I mean, you could throw them under the proverbial blanket there. The top 4 of those last, 8 laps or so?
Oh, yeah. I would say final 10 realistically. And Jared, I mean, you don't want to take away from the race he ran either. He slipped back a little bit, but at the end of it, it wasn't enough to really change anything. So a tough break for Jared, who ended up finishing 4th, but still a good points net overall. But what a battle tonight for Tyler Jackson.
We do have one of our top 3 drivers here in the broadcast booth now. 3rd place finisher, Drew Hopkins. Drew, a 3rd place run after starting 17th, man. I mean, starting 17th and finishing 3rd, that's nothing to hang your hat on, but I know you were close to that win and maybe a little disappointed it didn't happen.
Yeah, got lucky there in the beginning just to be able to get up there. I just stuck that bottom with everybody. I don't know what was going on. It was a bunch of craziness. I just rolled that bottom and got up through there. Then at the end, I was running that top, and I had made the bottom work in the B main and this feature. I was like, and then I saw Jackson down there, and I'm like, dang, I wish I would have found that. But I was running that top. But I'll take a top 3 with them 2 guys. They run street stocks a lot, and they're both really good. And even outrunning Kyle Jarrett, he's really good in these 2. I'll take that any day.
Yeah, now you mentioned you got up to the front on the bottom and then started running the top, and then I know you probably saw Tyler coming and Kyle on the inside. What made you stay on the top? Did your car just not really have the setup, dialed in for the bottom at the end?
Well, really, I just couldn't get down there. By the time I noticed that, I never saw Tyler until he was like coming past a few laps to go. I never saw him that far on the inside. I thought Kyle was just down there, but I couldn't really get down there because Kyle, he is kind of running that groove, so I didn't want to get into him. We race clean pretty much every time we're together, and it's fun racing around them guys. And I just got I think Tyler won. Congrats to him on the win. I don't know what happened there. I was hoping we could get a run on the top if they made contact and get the win, but congrats to them on running 1 and 2.
All right, Drew, it was a fun race to watch here tonight. Nice job on the 3rd place. We'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And I just want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, all my sponsors, CFM Esports, Keltner Contracting for all he does, and just everybody that supports me, and you guys for broadcasting and everybody puts us on.
All right, Drew Hopkins with a P3 run in the 157 car. 2nd place here tonight, led every lap except for the one that pays the big bucks, the 18 car, JC Floyd. JC, what are the emotions right now after that one? Obviously a very exciting race for the fans and announcers alike, but I'm sure you're probably maybe a little bit upset after that one.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously want to keep it professional. I mean, he knew what he was doing. Everybody's going to sit there and protect that, and he went out there and he was basically kill mode, so I don't know what else to say.
Me and Mike were talking about it there after the checkered. I mean, at that point, it's just I wouldn't even know what to do right there. Would you looking back on it, would you rather ran the top of the racetrack there, or maybe went a little bit lower? I mean, really, you could look at it a bunch of different ways, and I feel like either way, he was either going to get India or throw a slider on you or something there. I'm not really sure what you could have done different.
I don't know. I don't even know what to say, honestly. I'm just flabbergasted by it. I honestly thought I gave him as much room as I could. The people in Discord were saying he was rolling the tack at the very bottom. I was like, okay, maybe he'll stay down the tack. So then I ran the marble, because marbles are gripping these cars. And so I just ran the marbles, and he came up and he sent it for the kill. So, I mean, I hope they come around and, say something about it, because, I mean, come on. Like, he was killing people pretty much the whole race, I heard back in the back, and so I don't know. I don't know what to say. It just sucks, I guess, leading all the laps besides the last one because somebody wants to murder you for it.
Yeah, I absolutely hear you. But man, 3 races you've ran so far with this series, a first, second, and a third place run. Definitely been fun to watch, and we hope to see you come back next week and give it another shot at Cedar Lake.
Yeah, I'll still continue to come here, and I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll have to drive people differently, I guess, now at the end. So.
All right. Well, J.C. Floyd, a P2 tonight worth $75 in driving car number 18. Your race winner tonight, the 822 Tyler Jackson. He led the only lap that matters there. Started 12th and got the job done. And Tyler, a wild roller coaster race. At one point, you were on top of the wall in turn 1, and then you come back to win it.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. Some of these teams have team orders, and they have some of their slower guys just try to junk your shit. But we got the fast repair, and we came back through there, and we found the bottom before anybody else did, and yeah, we got the W.
Tell us about the last corner there. I was, JC obviously a little bit upset with what transpired there, but I feel like really you're out there racing. You had a wild night. You got there. You got it within contention to win this thing. And if it was me, I probably would have done the same thing, put it all on the line to try and get the win. And I mean, obviously, it was very exciting.
Yeah, he's pretty upset. He ran a completely different corner than he had for the last 10 laps. He'd been on the top, glued to the top. So when I went in there, I wanted to swing it out more than I had been to get the momentum off. And he chopped the corner and kind of ran the middle. And we both, I guess we went for the same real estate. I'm sure he's upset to lead all those laps and lose it in the last corner, but I don't think I did anything wrong. We barely made contact. I've seen a lot of guys do a lot worse on here, including several events in the future alone. So I'm taking the W. He can be mad all he wants. We got the points.
Well, Tyler, I think you're going to have a new sponsor outside of that car next week, shoprico.com, after the win here tonight, huh?
Yeah, I can't wait to hit him up, and then we'll be tied in with Fergie and Rico and some of these real life guys. It's really cool that they play along with us. We're just doing this for fun, and we all have real jobs, and we're not professionals by any means, but we take this stuff pretty serious. So when they come on board, it means a lot to us.
All right, Tyler Jackson, the winner here tonight with the Dirt Car Esports Street Stock Series, and that's 5 races and 5 different winners there. We've had J.C. Floyd, Cruz Cadell, Drew Hopkins, Adam Carlisle, and now Tyler Jackson. You couldn't write a better story, I don't think, there, Mike, and exciting stuff here tonight from Fairbury. A lot of guys coming from the tail to the front. A last lap pass. Can't really ask for much more.
No, you cannot. It was a great run throughout the night. Jackson coming back, an exciting finish. I mean, 4 guys under a blanket. You can't ask for much more than that. And I think we're going to see something akin to that next week when we head to Cedar Lake Speedway in New Richmond, Wisconsin. And it's Knoxville and then Weedsport the 2 weeks after that. So we got a lot of good races coming up here over the next few weeks.
Absolutely. Well, we will be back right there. You see January 4th, next Wednesday night for more Dirt Car Esports Street Stock Series action. I want to thank everybody involved behind the scenes, Jordan DeLucia, Dean Reynolds, our producer Mick, Mike Warren. My name is Chase Rod. We'll see you guys next week at the Cedar Lake Speedway.
This has been a presentation of Dirt Vision, a World Racing Group property. To get information about upcoming broadcasts, visit us on social media or at dirtvision.com.
Dirt Vision is home to all the greatest shows on dirt. World of Outlaws sprints, late models, and Super Dirt Car Series. You also get Dirt Car Summer Nationals and weekly shows from America's top tracks. Dirt Vision has the best all-around live coverage with flexible options for casual and hardcore fans. No commitments, cancel anytime, apps for most devices. Get your Fast Pass now at dirtvision.com.
Rated E10 for ages 10 and up.
You wanted the best, you got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws! World of Outlaws Dirt Racing is available now.
The greatest shows on dirt have the best fan gear in motorsports. Show your support for World of Outlaws sprints and late models. Go to worldofoutlaws.com and make your way to the Buy Now section in the upper right corner. You'll find hats, shirts, hoodies, and other great souvenirs for all fans. Spend $50 or more to get free shipping. Shop anytime at worldofoutlaws.com.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to round number 6 of the World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series, powered by iRacing. We bring you to Fairbury this evening as we begin the second half of our schedule, which kicks off our 2023 calendar year. Tim Terry, Chase Rodman here to call all the action for you. Chase, Happy New Year, getting ready to get into this once again. And we're in the second half of our season. The next 5 Mondays in January are going to crown us a Sprint Car champion.
Yeah, the point standings right now are pretty tight. Just a 21-point advantage right now for Alex Bergeron at the top of the standings, and we'll check that, actually a 26-point advantage for Bergeron right now over Tyler Schell. And we come to a place where just about anything can happen here at Fairbury, and this place is just so exciting. As those guys always say, it's time to get fallsy here tonight at the Fairbury American Legion Speedway. And like you mentioned, just past the halfway mark here. We got 5 in and 5 left to go here in 2022. 23 now, I should say.
2022-23. We started in 22. We're here now. It's going to be an exciting schedule with those 5 races, including this evening to conclude this schedule. You mentioned the point standings. Looking at these standings coming in, yes, Alex Bergeron has that 26-point lead. It has been shrinking the last couple of weeks, so hopefully the calendar changeover for Bergeron, for his sake, can help pad that lead. But Tyler Schell has been nipping away, as is Timothy Smith, with a couple of really good runs here the last couple of weeks. Last week's winner, James Edens, currently in position number 6. He's got some time to gain up and some positions to gain. Keep in mind, though, when we go forward, Chase, top 15, going to lock into this series and retain their license for next season. That gap got a little bit bigger last week. It's now 20 points between Clayton Tilley and Adam Elby for 15th.
Yeah, Elby not here last weekend, and that has lost him a ton of ground in the standings, as well as the driver that's 18th in points, Logan Rumsey. He was not here as well. Also sandwiched between those two, Evan C., 17th in points, the now one-time World of Outlaws Late Model Series champion back there in 17th. He is actually the most recent winner with this series here at Fairbury, so Evan C.'s got some work to do if he wants to be in this series next season as well.
And there's a lot to talk about here throughout the next 5 weeks as we head towards the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway to conclude this season. But speaking of this place, we're at Fairbury this evening. What does this racetrack entail?
Well, this place is just always exciting. Quarter-mile, semi-banked oval here in Fairbury, Illinois. Home of the Prairie Dirt Classic for the World of Outlaws Late Model Series in real life, paying $50,000 to win. Now, the real-life Sprint Car Series has not been here since 2019, when it was an epic battle between James McFadden, Kyle Larson, and Brad Sweet. But it is awesome to be able to do it here in the sim with the best 35 drivers in all of iRacing to put on a show for us. As you can see there, Evan C., the most recent winner here with the Sprint Car Series. Seating of 4,000, 1946 was when this place was constructed, and it doesn't matter what race is here, a street stock, a late model, a sprint car, it always puts on phenomenal racing, and we have seen that in the past at this place as well. And it looks like we are ready to get going for our first heat race of the night here, Tim. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. How about the qualifying effort for tonight? In car number 11, it's Kenny Hoffman, the driver out of Allentown, Pennsylvania for Momentum Sim Sport. Hoffman looking to make his first feature event of the season. He's on the pole of heat race number 1. To the outside of him, the winner back at the Lincoln Speedway with the series, the driver out of Morgantown, Pennsylvania, it's Kenny Miller, the third in car number 23 for M9 Sim Sport. Row number 2 on the inside, the number 1 car, Mason Hannigan. He's out of Pittsboro, Indiana for Black Diamond Motorsports, and outside of him, the number 86 car, that'll be Timothy Smith, the driver out of Fulton, Missouri for M9 Sim Sport. Row 3 on the inside, the number 50 car, Clayton Davies from Cessnock, New South Wales, Australia. On the outside of him, the number 22 car, the driver out of Findlay, Ohio. That's the 22 of Bryce Lucius for Fincell Motorsports. Row 4 on the inside, the number 42 car, Paul Bryan from Little Mountain, Queensland, Australia for Man Up Sim Racing. And your final starter in this one, the number 13 car, Aiden Beerline for Team ABR Setup Shop out of Woodford, Virginia. He will start back in the 8th position. 10 laps, and the top 4 will move on straight to the feature event. Will not have to run one of those last chance showdowns. Talked about Timothy Smith earlier and the speed he's shown recently, Tim. Timothy Smith has led the most laps out of anybody all season long between heat races, LCS, and feature. 116 laps led, but no wins to show for it. The driver closest to him in that category is Hayden Cardwell, 2 wins this season, 112 laps led. So Smith, we talked about it last week, that win is coming, and 116 laps led, that's pretty impressive to not have a win yet.
Eventually, he's going to close the deal, Chase. It's a matter of when he does it and how many wins follow after he's able to get that first one off his back and off the checklist. You talked about Kenny Hoffman in this race. Kenny and Clayton Davies both looking for their first feature starts this season. They'll line up on the inside row in 1st and 5th respectively, and then you've got everybody else that's been to at least one of these big dances in the first half of this season. So we'll have to see who ends up getting through this heat race and into the feature, or who's going to have to go to a last chance showdown. 31, I believe, is what we have here this evening. I do not see a Blake Giglio, I do not see a Helms, I do not see a Heffler, and I do not see an English on our list. So 31 getting ready to qualify as the field has got the command. They will roll here momentarily.
Yep, like we mentioned, 8 cars. The final starter in this one, Aiden Beerline, not able to get a qualifying lap in here tonight. So the driver 12th in points with 2 top 10s on the season is going to have to come from the 8th position here in this heat race. And, well, we've seen in the past this place puts on some phenomenal racing, whether it's in the late model series or the sprint car series. And it doesn't really matter if it's super fast, if it's super hooked up like it is usually in heat race number 1, you could still make passes at this place. It's so wide in the corners. And an update recently with this track, I want to say maybe a year ago, they actually moved those tractor tires farther into the infield to open up that bottom lane even more. So we'll see if that comes into play here in this heat race. If not, it'll definitely come into play later on tonight as we are ready to go. Heat race number 1, Kenny Hoffman looking to make his first feature event of the season on the pole, leads into the green flag.
And you already saw some drivers looking and trying to get to that inside, but it's going to be the outside line taking the advantage. And Kenny Miller, oh boy, there goes the 11 around. What a tough break for your pole sitter, Kenny Hoffman. He's going to take somebody else with him. And again, bad luck strikes at 11.
Yep, Hoffman and Lucius was the other car involved. Up front, your race leader, the 23 car of Kenny Miller. Aiden Bierlein gets sideways on the inside of the racetrack, loses a ton of ground to your top four, as the top four have pulled away from that 5th place car of Bierlein. And it's right now Miller, followed by what looks to be Timothy Smith, Mason Hannigan, and Clayton Davies right now. And like I mentioned, they've got about a straightaway lead over Bierlein, so not going to be seeing any crazy maneuvers, I don't think, unless, maybe one for the lead here between Miller and Smith. If you can win this heat race, Tim, you'll be on the pole of tonight's 35-lap feature event.
Absolutely. Get yourself some track position early in this evening, as we're going to cross the halfway point in this one. 5 down and 5 to go in heat race number 1, and Timothy Smith is keeping Kenny Miller honest up in front. Hannigan in 3rd, and Davies, if he can hold on, would make his first feature of the season.
Yeah, Davies, he's definitely got a lot of room behind him. Doesn't have to really worry about Aiden Bierlein. He's running good laps on the top side of the racetrack, so Davies looking to finally get his ticket punched into the feature here tonight at the Fairbury Speedway. Meanwhile, Kenny Miller doing a great job at the front of the field. Got the win earlier this season at the Lincoln Speedway. A rookie here in 2022/23, and he's done a great job so far, already picking off that first career win. Coming around to the white flag this time by for the 23.
Little bit of insurance between your top 4 drivers as they take the white flag. Final lap for Kenny Miller, trying to lock down the provisional pole position here in round number 6. He'll round corners number 3 and 4 and make it look easy. Pulled away at the end, and Kenny Miller is going to pick up the win in heat race number 1. Timothy Smith in 2nd, Mason Hannigan in 3rd, and Clayton Davies, making his first feature event of the season, is going to come home in 4th. And then you have Aiden Bierlein, Paul Bryan, Bryce Lucius, and Kenny Hoffman. What a heartbreak for Kenny Hoffman after starting on the pole, winning qualifying early in this race, gets turned around, and he is going to have to go from pretty much the back of the field, Chase, in the last chance showdown.
Yeah, tough deal there. We'll see if he can make it through the last chance showdown as we take a look at the lineup for heat race number 2 on the pole. It is the most recent winner with the World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series. James Edens, a driver out of Santa Rosa, California for Swindell Speed Lab Esports in car number 52. Outside of him, the 2-time series champion, that's the number 12 car of Alex Bergeron. He's from Drummondville, Quebec, Canada. Team ABR Setup Shop, number 12 entry. Row number 2 on the inside, the number 5 car, that'll be Braden Eiler for Elbows F Simsport. He's out of Franklin, Pennsylvania. To the outside of him, the most recent winner with the series here at Fairbury Speedway, it's Evan C., the driver out of Chesney, South Carolina for CFM Esports in car number 33. Row number 3 on the inside, the 25 car, that's Tyler Ducharme. He's out of Beaumessine, Vermont for Slick Simsport, and outside of him, number 48 car out of Hamilton Township, New Jersey, it's Dylan Yeager in car number 48 for CFM Esports. Row number 4 on the inside, the 51 car, that's Clayton Tilley. He's out of Bibra Lake, Western Australia for Momentum Simsport, and your final starter in this one, it's the number 174 of Loic Bernier from Victoriaville, Quebec, Canada for Slick Simsport. Once again, 8 cars, 10 laps, top 4, moving to the feature, and some storylines to watch in this one. As we talked about, Evan C., most recent winner with the Sprint Car Series here at Fairbury. Then you got James Edens, most recent winner with the series last week at I-55. And so then you got Bergeron there as well. And, well, Bergeron, he's trying to set the bar high here for his championship rival, Tyler Schell. Schell is scheduled to line up second as well in his heat race later on tonight. So that is something we need to start emphasizing a little bit here. That championship battle is, like you said, Tim, earlier at the top of the show, we're already at the halfway point of the season.
And oh, by the way, these heat races do pay championship points. So there are a couple of points to be gained here if you have a good evening. And what would be a good evening is getting on the racetrack yourself. Head over to iRacing.com to get your career started today. And oh, by the way, the holiday sale is still ongoing until January 8th. New members can get their deal by heading over to iRacing.com/holiday-sale. And it's 50% off new memberships until the weekend. So head over and get that in your back pocket if you haven't been on iRacing yet and you want to get on the racetrack, whether it's on the dirt, whether it's on the road, whether it's on a pavement track, and get in and do some racing with us yourself, as the field will come by, get the one to go this time, and we'll be going racing next time by the stripe. These laps go by quick, and as we saw in the first one, A, no cautions, and B, no lead or no track position up in front is safe on these.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. You never know what's going to happen here on these quarter miles as we are getting back into the start zone here. James Edens, the Swindell Speed Lab Esports 52 car, is on the hammer. We are green, and the race is on for second already. Braden Eiler trying to go to the inside of Alex Bergeron. Down the back straightaway, side by side. Now 3 wide, it looks like. He's trying to go 4 wide as one car on the very inside, Dylan Yeager. We saw him doing that last week at I-55. Rolled his way up to a podium position on the inside of the racetrack. He's in 4th right now.
And Yeager's rolling deep on the inside, too, trying to get everything that he can. Comes back up the racetrack just a little bit out of the corner, up in front of him, up the road just a little bit. Eiler in 2nd. Bergeron has been dispatched to 3rd, and now he may lose it as Yeager is to the inside, trying to make it happen. What a moving up in front. We got a battle for the lead, and Yeager sideways.
Yeah, Yeager gets a little bit too sideways there. He's going to lose that 4th position. James Edens down the back, or down the front stretch, I should say, still has the lead, but Braden Eiler has found a home right in the middle part of the racetrack, pulls up alongside of him, can't make the pass. The 52 car continues to lead. Now Bergeron tries to get back in the mix here as well. Behind him, the 25 of Ducharme has moved into the final transfer spot.
Race car drivers, don't forget, I know Braden Eiler a couple of weeks ago had a tough sled in one of these heat races, had to go through a last chance showdown and really had to get up on the wheel. I think he's a little calculated here as he almost goes to the outside, gets the wall a little bit off of turn number 2. Bergeron now trying to go to the outside. 3 cars under a blanket for the top spot as you ride on board with Alex Bergeron. The focus as he tries to get one of these top 2 positions.
And right now, if he was able to finish in the 3rd spot, he would start way back, and I want to say maybe the 10th position, so not exactly where you want to be at here at Fairbury. He looks to the inside of Eiler, might see a slider right here into turn number 3. Not going to make the move, tries to roll the middle. Eiler has momentum, hangs on to the 2nd spot as Edens crosses under the white flag.
Final lap in heat race number 2, and James Edens has to hold off Braden Eiler and Alex Bergeron. He'll come by, and Eiler took the look, but that was all it was. James Edens continues where he left off last week and picks up a win in a heat race. Braden Eiler comes home in position number 2 with Alex Bergeron just in behind in position number 3, and the final transferee is Tyler Ducharme, Clayton Tilley, Evan C., Dylan Yeager, and Loic Bernier. Complete your field. There's 4 really good drivers going to a last chance showdown. There's 2 heats in the books. We got 2 more coming at you after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
World of Outlaws Dirt Racing is available now.
The World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series is brought to you by CarQuest Auto Parts. And by World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. Drive like an outlaw. Available now on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5.
Welcome back to Fairbury. It's round number 6 of the World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series. 2 heat races in the book so far. Chase, who is in heat number 3?
Heat race number 3 is going to look like this. On the pole, driver having a great season so far. He's out of Bakersfield, California. Number 14 of J.D. Brown for Slick Sim Sport. And outside of him, the number 07 of Hayden Cardwell, the driver out of Sevierville, Tennessee. The 2021 Sprint Car winner here at Fairbury. Row number 2 on the inside, the number 41 car. That's Logan Rumsey, the driver out of Manchester, Pennsylvania for Slick Sim Sport. And outside of him is the number 49 car. That's going to be Ryan Avila from Lemoore, California for Momentum Sim Sport. Row number 3 on the inside, the number 24 car. That'll be Tanner Pettit driving it. He's out of Chico, California, also for Momentum Sim Sport. Outside of him is the number 17. That'll be Eric Whitner here. He's out of Berwick, Pennsylvania, also driving for Momentum Sim Sport. Row 4 on the inside, the number 4 car of Ross Kaiser out of San Jose, California, also driving for Momentum Sim Sport. And your final starter in this one, the number 7 car, Johnny Anderson out of Newton, Iowa for M9 Sim Sport. 8 cars in the top 4 moving on after 10 laps of action. The guy to watch for here in this one, arguably the king of Fairbury, the 07 Hayden Cardwell. As I mentioned, 2021 Sprint Car winner here and 2-time Late Model Series winner here at Fairbury. He definitely has this place on lockdown. Not an incredible qualifying effort, but puts himself in position here to win this heat race.
And there is a lot to win here, not only this evening, but throughout this season. If you want more information on the schedule, the standings, the drivers in the series, the neat little driver profiles that have been put together, and anything that you would need to know about the World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series powered by iRacing, head to iRacing.com/WOOSC. And these drivers this evening racing for $300, $200, and $100 in the feature event with $10,000 on the line for the champion. J.D. Brown is one of 6 drivers that has made every single feature so far this season. Technically, if you include those that have attempted all the races, Mason Hannigan would be there as well. So Alex Bergeron, James Edens, and Timothy Smith have already punched their ticket into round number 6. J.D. Brown trying to do the same. Logan Rumsey coming back after the Tulsa shootout, going to start in position number 3 in this one. There's a lot of storylines here, as well as the pace truck going to peel off and get ready to come to green in a heat race number 3 here at Fairbury. Hayden Cardwell on the outside trying to take it away from J.D. Brown. Green flag flies and we're underway.
Brown goes to the middle in turn number 1, gets to the cushion on the exit of turn number 2. Big crossover move from Hayden Cardwell. He'll take the lead into turn number 3, gets up to the top of the racetrack as Brown has a run down the front straightaway. Cardwell will lead lap number 1. Cardwell leads lap 1. Brown back in second. Now he's 3 wide for that spot as a driver. Look at the outside was Ryan Avila. Brown hangs on to it. And also on the inside of the racetrack is the number 41 of Rumsey trying to get by for P3.
Logan Rumsey down to the inside trying to get that position away. Avila on the outside trying to take it on the upside. He will. They come close for position number 4. It's now a battle for the final bubble position as Pettit tries to make something happen. I think Whitner might have had a moment there at the back of the field with Anderson. They're kind of a little bit off of this battle, but they still got some time to get up here.
He actually ran over the right rear of Logan Rumsey 2 laps ago, entering turn number 3, got into the wall, and that's where Whitner fell way to the back of the field there. Here's a race for second. 49 of Avila to the inside of Brown. Can't make the pass as Cardwell has pulled out to a 1-second advantage over J.D. Brown. And now a race for third starting to develop. Here comes Rumsey to the rear bumper of Avila. To the inside down the front straightaway. Race for third. Might see the slider. Nope. Rumsey's going to try and run the middle.
Include second in there too with J.D. Brown not too far ahead of Avila, Rumsey, Pettit, and even Kaiser's trying to get up in here and make something happen in the late laps of this one. They'll come by this time and have 2 laps to go in heat race number 3. And Logan Rumsey trying to make something happen. Avila right on the back panel of J.D. Brown. It's going to be a fight for second.
Rumsey right there trying to get by Avila. Third place finisher in 2021 was Rumsey. Tries to go by 2 cars, gets by 1. Avila crosses back to the inside. The white flag is out. Race for third is interesting here. Down the back straightaway, Rumsey back to the inside. He'll try and roll the bottom in the final corner. Who's going to have P3? It's going to be Avila at the line.
And Pettit tried to get in there at the end with those 2 going hard for that position and just could not make it happen. It's all Hayden Cardwell in heat race number 3. J.D. Brown second. Avila and Rumsey are going to be the 4 that advance into the feature event this evening. Pettit, Kaiser, Whitner, and Anderson going to be the 4 that are going to be heading to a last chance showdown. We've got one more heat race to come here, and here it is. Who's starting this one?
On the pole, the number 74 car, Adam Elby out of Tracy, California for Swindell Speed Lab Esports. Outside of him, number 85 car, currently second in the point standings. Out of Millersburg, Pennsylvania, it's Tyler Schell for Elbows F Sim Sport. Row number 2 on the inside, the 127, former late model series champion from Jamestown, New York, the CFM Esports number 127, it's Blake Majulis. And to the outside of him, the 00 car, Kendall Tucker out of Mount Airy, North Carolina for Swindell Speed Lab Esports. Row number 3 on the inside, this guy's brother won a sprint car race here a couple years ago. The number 18 of Austin Sellerman for Tony Stewart Racing from Brookfield, Wisconsin. And outside of him, the number 9 car, that'll be Tanner Miller out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for Scott Thomason Racing. And your final starter in this one, the number 20 car, Aiden Forster from Cass City, Michigan for Momentum Sim Sport. He'll round out the field here. And man, Forster, not used to seeing him way back in the field here, did not get a qualifying lap in for the 20 car. Coming off 2 great runs, a 4th last week at I-55 and a 6th at Lincoln. And Forster, not sure what happened in qualifying, but not able to put a time in, and he's got some work ahead of him here.
Yeah, we're going to see him roll and try to get everything that he can in this one. 10 laps, quick way around here, but sitting at the back of this field is the 20 of Forster, so he's got some work to do on this one. We're almost through the 4 heat races this evening, and as soon as we're done this, we'll head to 2 last chance showdowns to take 2 more per race into the feature event to make 20 total for this evening's feature event, round number 6 of the World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series powered by iRacing. Looking at those 2 on the outside, Tyler Schell and Kendall Tucker, those 2 have made all 5 races so far, looking to punch a ticket into their 6th feature event of the year. Adam Elby, as we mentioned last week, not here, coming back and trying to get back into the swing of things. Blake Majulis is going to be quick. This is a good little heat race.
Yeah, it really is. And the pressure's on Tyler Schell here as Bergeron, his championship rival, finished 3rd in his heat race. And if Schell can at least finish 2nd here, he would gain 1 point in that championship. If he can get by Elby, he would gain 2 and obviously have a great starting spot for the feature event here tonight. So all eyes on the 85 of Tyler Schell, but trying to hold off the likes of Blake Majulis and Kendall Tucker is going to be tough. Tucker has been good all year, 4 top 10s in the first 5 races for the 00 car. Blake Majulis has been a little bit of a struggle here this season. Right now, he sits way back in 27th of the point standings, only 1 top 10 finish this year for the former late model series champion. But Tucker is going to be that one guy, I think, in this one that's going to really, challenge Schell here and see and put up a challenge. I think that Tucker and Elby both on the same team for Swindell Speed Lab Esports. That could also play a factor here.
We'll see what happens over 10 laps of competition. We've seen the outside be good, too, on these restarts. Coming off of turn number 2, we'll see if Tyler Schell can get that jump on Elby to the inside. Green flag flies in the final heat race this evening at Fairbury, and down to the inside goes Tyler Schell, and he'll pick up the lead from Elby, and they'll swap it back here maybe on the front straightaway as they continue to go at it for the top spot.
Great stuff at the front of the field in this one. Tyler Schell back to the inside. Here comes Kendall Tucker trying to go by both of them. From 3rd to the lead, Kendall Tucker. What a move right there. Had the lead for a moment, gets crossed back up by Elby and Schell. Elby has the lead. Now here comes Tanner Miller as Schell takes the lead back into turn 3. Oh, Elby hits the wall. Going to lose 2 spots, and now they're getting together on the front straightaway. Big wreck down into turn 1.
We lost 2 at least as they got crossed up, and Tucker, I think, maintained forward momentum in that chase, but he did lose a transfer spot. I say did because he's on the inside of Semmelman trying to take it back away.
Yeah, Tucker tries to run the bottom there, but Semmelman too good around the outside. The 18 car trying to put it in the show for the 2nd straight week. The driver out of Brookfield, Wisconsin, his brother Dylan won the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series race here back in 2020. Now Semmelman under fire. Tucker back to the outside. Great recovery here for Kendall Tucker after that incident a few laps ago. He's back into a transfer spot.
What a move from the front of the field all the way to outside of a transfer position, and now looking at position number 3. There he goes again.
Wow, Tucker right in front of Blake Majulis, who crosses him back up down the front straightaway. Tucker not done there. Back to the inside, down the back straightaway. Kendall Tucker's got some speed. Behind the wheel, the 00 car here tonight takes the 3rd spot away from Majulis, who does not have a counter move to get back to him in turn number 1. Tucker pulls away down the back straightaway. White flag is out for the 85 of Tyler Schell, doing exactly what he needed to do here in this heat race.
Tyler Schell up in front, took the lead early and was able to hold on to it, and going through 3 and 4 for the final time, leading Adam Elby. Tyler Schell will pick up the win in heat race number 4. So Tyler Schell Adam Elby, Kendall Tucker, Blake Majulis in a very eventful heat race. Kendall Tucker put the boots on and went to work, and that one was up in front, was outside of a transfer position, and then finished in position number 3. Great run for him. Selman, Forster, and Miller will have to go to a last chance showdown. We've got 2 of those, and they are coming up next.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Modified DLC pack also features the Federated Auto Parts Raceway and I-55 and will be available for digital purchase on the PlayStation and Xbox stores this month.
The World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series is brought to you by CarQuest Auto Parts. And by World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. Drive like an outlaw. Available now on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5.
Welcome back to Fairbury. We have 2 last chance showdowns coming at you. We are going to take the top 2 from each of these 12-lap last chance races and lock them into round number 6. And we've got some big names in this one. Chase, who's starting last chance showdown number 1?
We got 7 cars going for 2 transfer spots. The number 13 car of Aiden Beerline going to be on the pole of this one. And outside of him is the number 24 car of Tanner Pettit. Row number 2 on the inside, the 42 car. That's driven by Paul Bryan. And outside of him is the number 4 of Ross Kaiser. Row 3, the 22 car. That's Bryce Lucius. And outside of him is the number 17 car, Eric Whitner. And your final starter in this one. And we are really hoping that Kenny Hoffman can get going here in this one after qualifying quick time, start on the pole of the heat race and got in a first lap incident and starts now at the tail of this last chance showdown trying to make his first feature event of the season. The other guy that was involved in that conversation, Clayton Davies, was able to make it earlier on in that same heat race. So we're hoping a little bit of a good luck towards the number 11 of Kenny Hoffman in this one.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do from the back of the field. He's got some work to do. And taking a look at this racetrack, it looks pretty good so far through 4 heat races. Never did any work there. Obviously, we expect them to do some work, Chase, after these 2 last chance showdowns, but the track's holding up fairly well. We've seen some great racing so far.
Yeah, and that's the thing about this place. We saw it very top dominant the first 2 or 3 heat races, and that's usually how this place is. And then once the top gets to where it's really hard to run without hitting the wall, we saw a couple of guys hitting the wall almost consistently. And if you can't do that without getting yourself in trouble, that's when the middle and towards the bottom of the track will start to come into play here at Fairbury, especially when it gets a little bit slicker there through the middle. That's when the bottom will really, really come in, and I think we might see that become a factor here in these 2 last chance showdowns. Not exactly sure what the officials have planned for that feature event, if they're going to rework it. If they're not, we'll have to wait and find out about that. But so far, things have been pretty entertaining.
And we'll see Dylan Yeager in the second last chance showdown as well. So if the inside line, if the inside's going to be there, I'm pretty sure we're going to see Dylan Yeager try to make it happen in the second Last Chance Showdown this evening. It's Aiden Beerline and Tanner Pettit on the front row getting ready to come to green. We are going to take 2 of these 7 and move them on to the feature this evening at Fairbury as the pace truck has peeled off. Beerline in control. Green flag flies and we're underway. We'll see what this inside line can do because it seemed like the outside, 2 around, 1 in the wall, and we're stacking them up.
And Bryce Lucius is going to take advantage of that and goes from 5th to 2nd. Now look at Hoffman. He's right there. Hoffman in 3rd looking for the 2nd spot. He'll slide in front of Bryce Lucius. The 11 car of Kenny Hoffman takes it away after starting dead last. He's going to lose it again, though. This is going to be a race all the way through here for P2 as Beerline tries to get away from Lucius and Hoffman.
And keep in mind, Hoffman and Lucius, after that first heat race, were kind of stuck behind the 8 ball, so they get a little bit of a gift early in this Last Chance Showdown. They continue to go back and forth. There goes the outside. Lucius going to pick it up. Hoffman going back to the inside, side by side, but don't count out Paul Bryan behind. If something happens with these two, Bryan and Whitner are going to be there.
Yeah, Whitner just got by Bryan, and Whitner's on the very inside of the racetrack in turns 1 and 2 and in 3 and 4. 17 car trying something a little bit different as Hoffman slides in front of Lucius, who crosses him back up down the front straightaway. Halfway home here in this first Last Chance Showdown, and Kenny Hoffman trying to make his first feature event of the season. Bryce Lucius looking to hold him off as they work down the front straightaway.
They continue to go at it for the runner-up position. It's all Beerline up in front. This is the battle for the final transfer position, and past the halfway point in this one, Hoffman trying to make it happen, but here comes Whitner trying to get in there, trying to make that inside line work and get up with these two to battle for that final spot.
It's tricky down there on the inside. We saw a couple guys earlier on get way too sideways, including Dylan Yeager, so Whitner got to be careful, does not want to get too backed in there and lose some ground as Hoffman, speaking of losing ground, looks like he might be losing a little bit to Bryce Lucius right now. Now he's back on the rear bumper as they work off of turn number 4. That time by 3 to go. Here comes Hoffman. He'll pull the trigger and take the spot away.
And Lucius back to the inside, going to take it back from Hoffman. Hoffman going to go back to that inside. The bottom groove place to be maybe as Hoffman tries to make it happen with 2 laps to go. Lucius holds on to that 2nd place position. It's all behind Aiden Beerline. Can Kenny Hoffman pull it off here? They'll come to the white. Final lap, and Kenny Hoffman's trying to make this happen.
Oh man, Hoffman with a good run down the back straightaway. Goes to the inside. No, Lucius will go down there to protect Hoffman's and go into the wall and upside down. And he gave it everything he had there, Tim, and you cannot fault him for that. He went for broke down into the corner, gets upside down, and Kenny Hoffman will have to wait another week to try and put it in the show.
He did everything that he could, though, in his power to try to take it away from Bryce Lucius. What a battle behind Aiden Beerline, your winner. Beerline and Lucius, your top 2 transfer. Whitner, Hoffman, Bryan, Pettit, and Kaiser are going to be on the outside looking in for this evening's feature event. We've got one more Last Chance Showdown coming up here, and there are some big names here.
51 car Clayton Tilley is going to be on the pole, and outside of him, number 18 car Austin Semmelman. Row 2 on the inside, the most recent winner with the series here at Fairbury, the 33 car of Evan Seed, and outside of him, the number 20 car of Aiden Forster. Row 3 on the inside, last week's 3rd place finisher at I-55, the 48 car of Dylan Yeager, and outside of him, the number 9 of Tanner Miller. Row number 4, the 174 car Loic Bernier, and the number 7 of Johnny Anderson. So 8 cars in this one, once again going for 12 laps, and the top 2 to the tail end of tonight's 20-car field for 35 laps. Now, C and Yeager, the guys I'm watching for in this one. C, like I mentioned there, the most recent winner here at Fairbury, and Yeager, a 3rd-place finisher last week. It just goes to show how tough the series is. You can be on the podium one week, and then the next week, you're fighting to even make the show.
Absolutely. We've seen some podium finishes this season and some really good runs at Clayton Tilley. Semmelman made his first main last week. Forster has been quick. Tanner Miller. Loic Bernier's looking to try to change his luck around a little bit. Johnny Anderson from the back of this field. We're only taking 2. Dylan Yeager going to start on the inside of row number 3, though. If the inside line is definitely there, I'm sure we're going to see Dylan Yeager work that thing with Evan C. in front of him. This is going to be a very interesting start to this 12-lap Last Chance Showdown.
Yeah, Dylan Yeager, we saw him never leave the bottom last week at I-55, and we'll see if he does it again here. 50% off new memberships until January 8th, so you got about 6 days for that holiday sale, and man, that is a really smoking deal, especially if you get what I think there's a 5-year package, or maybe I can't remember whichever one is normally $200, man, $100, and you can get a long-time membership here on iRacing for one hell of a deal. So if you're watching this, wondering how you get involved right there, iRacing.com/holiday-sale to see your deal today. And if you get good enough, maybe we'll see you in this series someday.
You never know where your iRacing career will take you as the field begins to roll off for the final last chance showdown. The final chance to get into round number 6 at Fairbury. We have a 35-lap feature coming up after this LCS, and Tilley and Selman on the front row. We'll see if they can hold those 2 transfer positions, but it's going to be a hard task with C, Forster, Yeager, Miller, Bernier, and Anderson in and behind as they get ready to see the green flag next time by.
Tilley has had a pretty good season so far up into this point. Decently up there in the points. Right now he's on the bubble spot for maintaining his license for next year. 15th in points, right ahead of Adam Elby and the driver that starts right behind him, Evan C. As we head to the green flag here in the final last chance showdown, Tilley jumps out with the lead, races on for second, 3 wide off of turn number 2. Look at Evan C. try and work the bottom to the second spot.
Trying to get down to the inside 3 wide in behind your leader as they continue to fan out. This is going to be a great race, almost 4 wide for the lead as we see the inside line really coming in here now.
Wow, Austin Selman got into Tilley, and Tilley's going to go through the infield. His race is over right there as Selman put a close call on him there. They got together a little bit, sent the number the number 51 into the infield. Great race up front, though. 2 lanes have been developed here, one on the bottom and one on the top, Tim.
Yeah, C is on that inside line, the outside line of Selman, and then in behind, they're kind of fanning out 2 and 3 wide, but with that little bit of an incident, it's kind of given them a little bit of breathing room. At least the top 2 have a little bit of breathing room back to third on back. They continue to be side by side. Selman got the advantage that time out of 4 as Evan C may have that inside line, but it may be giving up just a little bit here, or at least the last couple laps it has.
Yeah, he is losing a little bit of ground, but he knows he's got a pretty good gap back to that next car in line. Dylan Yeager about a second behind in 3rd position, and he's fighting with the number 7 of Johnny Anderson. So Evan C, he's looking pretty safe here in this one. That time by 5 laps to go in this final last chance. Oh, Selman just hit the wall off of turn number 2 and brings C right back into the fight for the lead.
Keep working that inside line. Keep trying to get everything that you can, and Evan C is trying to do just that. In behind, Dylan Yeager has taken 3rd away from that battle that was a 3-way dance. Yeager is closing in, but he may run out of laps here. He's only got 3 to get up here.
He was faster than both the top 2 drivers the last time by, so Yeager is definitely catching up, but he's running out of time. 2 laps to go. Yeager bounces the right rear off the wall at turn number 4. That time by in 11.36. Your race leader in 11.54. Just not enough time for Yeager to get there. If this is a 20-lap affair, he might be able to get there, but the white flag is out.
C is trying to take it away from Selman, though, up in front. Austin Selman to the outside. Evan C's got one more shot to dig deep on the inside here. What's going to happen? It's going to be Selman to the upside, taking it away, and the final last chance showdown of the evening. Evan C is going to come home in position number 2. Everybody else is going to head to the trailer early here at Fairbury to complete this field. Yeager, who had a great heat race, go sideways on him, 1 spot short. Johnny Anderson from the back of this one to 4th. Tanner Miller, Loic Bernier, Aiden Forster, and Clayton Tilley, your field. We are going to step away for a moment and catch our breath before we go racing for 35 laps in round number 6. Don't go away.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. iRace or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series is brought to you by CarQuest Auto Parts. And by World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. Drive like an outlaw. Available now on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5.
It is a new year, so it's a perfect time to get your career started on World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. If you do not have your copy yet, worldofoutlaws.game.com to learn more. Pick it up for your favorite console. So many different series. You have the career mode, which has been very popular. The multiplayer. There's so much you can do on World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. Be sure to pick up your copy today. Chase, I know you've been into it too.
Oh, it's been a blast so far. So many tracks to choose from, both from the real world and those fantasy tracks that have been super fun to learn as well. So many cars, and it's great to have the real world drivers involved as well, helping you out in the career mode. So can't wait to play it a little bit more here when the season gets back rolling in real life, and those off days or the nights after the races, we go back and play it at the hotel. So a lot of fun with World of Outlaws Dirt Racing game. Like Tim mentioned, available Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PS4, PS5. But now we're ready for tonight's feature here at Fairbury Speedway for round number 6 of the World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series. Here is the starting lineup. On the pole, car number 23, driver looking for his second win of the season out of Morgantown, Pennsylvania, the 23 of Kenny Miller III. Row number 1 to the outside, the 52 car looking for back-to-back victories with the series out of Santa Rosa, California, the 52 of James Edens. Row 2 on the inside, looking for his second sprint car victory here in a row, the 07 of Hayden Cardwell, the driver out of Sevierville, Tennessee. Outside of him, number 85, currently second in the point standings out of Millersburg, Pennsylvania, it's Tyler Schell in 85. Row 3 on the inside, the 86, that's Timothy Smith out of Fulton, Missouri, and outside of him, the number 5 of Braden Eiler out of Franklin, Pennsylvania. Row number 4 on the inside, the 14 out of Bakersfield, California, it's J.D. Brown, and outside of him, it's the 74 out of Tracy, California, Adam Elby. Row number 5, the number 1 car, Mason Hannigan, will start from 9th out of Pittsburgh, Indiana, and outside of him, the 2-time series champion, Alex Bergeron, in car number 12 out of Drummondville, Quebec, Canada. Row number 6 out of Lemoore, California, the 49 of Ryan Avila, and outside of him, out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, the 00 car of Kendall Tucker. Row 7, number 50, that's Clayton Davies out of Cessnock, New South Wales, Australia, and outside of him, the number 25 car, Tyler Ducharme at Beaumessine, Vermont. Row number 8, the 41 car, Logan Rumsey, will start 15th. Driver out of Manchester, Pennsylvania, and outside of him, number 127 car, Blake Majulis out of Jamestown, New York, will start from 16th. Out of the last chance showdowns, the 13 of Aiden Beerline from Woodford, Virginia. Outside of him, the number 18 of Austin Semlin from Brookfield, Wisconsin. Final 2 starters, the 22 of Bryce Lucius from Findlay, Ohio, and the 33 of Evan C., former winner here with the Sprint Car Series, will start 20th, the driver out of Chesney, South Carolina. 20 cars, 35 times around Fairbury for round number 6 of the World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series. And how about the first 3 starters in this one? Miller, Edens, and Cardwell make up 4 of the 5 wins that we've seen so far this season.
And then you look back to 4th and 5th, Tyler Schell, who's had a great season himself, trying to move up a little bit further in the standings, a little bit closer to Alex Bergeron. And then you got Timothy Smith, who has led the most laps this season without locking down a feature victory, sitting in position number 5 as we get ready to go racing. Bergeron, middle of the pack, so keep your eye on the 12 as he tries to move Mason Hannigan looked good in his heat race, going to be on the same row as Bergeron. Kendall Tucker did things in his heat race, but he is mired back, I believe, in 12th place when we start this thing. So there's a lot of stories, even in the middle of the pack on back, that are going to be moving when we throw the green.
Yeah, Bergeron actually will start 10th in this one, but if they finished how they start in this one, man, the championship would be extremely close. If Shell could finish 4th and Bergeron 10th, that would close things up significantly. But obviously, we got 35 laps for things to get shuffled around here, and this is going to be a whole lot of fun. Kenny Miller, I was hyping him up at the start of the season as one of the rookies to watch. He got that win in Lincoln, made me look pretty good, and now we'll see if he can make me look extremely good with a second win of the season. I can't remember the last time a rookie won 2 races in 1 year. It'd be impressive to see the driver from Morgantown, Pennsylvania. James Edens was outside Cardwell, Shell, Smith, and Eiler. Smith, another guy to watch for in this one, Tim. We know how much he likes to run the top, and all those laps he's led. Could tonight be the night for Timothy Smith?
This is going to be a fun 35 laps. Glad you could be with us. Round number 6 of the World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series, powered by iRacing, Fairbury Speedway. We are green, and Kenny Miller in control of this one down into corner number 1. We'll see who comes out the other side. Starts have been fun here, and here goes down to the inside, James Edens looking to pick it up.
Tyler Shell around the outside of Cardwell. He moves into the 3rd spot as here comes Kenny Miller back to the front. Takes it away from Eden. Shell now trying to get involved as well. He'll try and go by both of them. Shell's going to get by Miller, who crosses him back up, takes second back away, down the front straightaway. Good stuff at the front early on here on lap number 3. James Edens looking for back-to-back victories. In the Swindell Speed Lab Esports 52, he leads over Miller, Shell, Cardwell, and J.D. Brown, the top 5.
They continue to run nose to tail for your top 4. The 14 of J.D. Brown is the first one to the inside, trying to really make something happen down there. Oh, a little contact for 3rd.
And Shell goes around. Cardwell's involved. The caution comes out. And Tyler Shell with a huge opportunity here tonight to gain some points on Alex Bergeron, gets caught up with Hayden Cardwell, racing for the 3rd spot, and it actually started here. We'll take a look at the replay. Shell actually gets into the back bumper of Kenny Miller here, racing for 2nd.
And take a look at this one here. It's going to come close right there, and there's Cardwell into the contact. The 14 of J.D. Brown gets in there as well, and we'll see where Tyler Shell kind of blends into this. Depending how much damage he has, Chase, it might not be as bad as it might have been, but we'll see where he all blends in and see where this shakes out. But Shell definitely going to have some work to do now. If it opens the door for anybody, it may open it for Timothy Smith to pick up some points in this one, as he's going to get away, I believe, with 3rd here.
Yeah, Timothy Smith, a big moment here as well. He came in 3rd in the point standings. He was 8 behind Tyler Shell entering the night. So could be another good night for Timothy Smith. As if he can get on the podium again, that would be a pretty impressive string of runs here for the driver out of Fulton, Missouri. But James Edens is the race leader. 5 down, 30 to go. The 52 car brings us back to green.
Back to green, top 4 up to that outside line, and J.D. Brown once again goes back to the inside. Blake Majulis and Mason Hannigan also down to the inside on the initial start of that one, trying to make something happen. Majulis has been down there trying to get that inside line to work with that 14.
It's tough to run the top right now, but that's the fast way around. You see a couple guys trying to cheat it on the entry. They don't want to get next to the wall. They'll slide up to it on the exit. Here comes Miller, going to try and work the middle into turn number 1. Can't make the pass. He lets Edens know he's there, though. James Edens pulls away by 2 car lengths, this time by 9 down, 26 to go.
You're right on board with Hayden Cardwell, looking up at the top 3, top 4 now as Braden Eiler makes a move. Eiler now firmly into the top 5, sitting in position number 4, and Cardwell almost up into the wall there. He's got Mason Hannigan right behind him.
Hayden Cardwell's hit the wall a couple times the last few laps. Might be some damage on that car. He did not look too happy there in that onboard shot with how things were going. A little bit of top wing damage on that 07 as well. A lot of guys starting to choo-choo train on the bottom side of the racetrack back there mid-pack. Blake Majulis is one of them, as well as Mason Hannigan and J.D. Brown. Good stuff here. 5th on back. Whoa! Majulis gets into the side of Brown, turns him sideways. They both keep going. No, they don't. They're going to spin around and draw the yellow.
And those two were the two that were on the inside line for the first 12 laps of this one through those first 2 runs, and tough break for them. Hannigan was trying to go with them for a couple of laps, went to the middle. We'll look at the replay here and see what happened, but Chase, you called it, 2 on the inside fighting for the same piece of real estate.
Yeah, it looked like Brown kind of missed the bottom a little bit, and Majula saw an opportunity, goes to the inside, maybe a little bit of contact, and once you make that contact down there, Tim, and you're going that slow to hit the bottom like that, when you get hit like that, it just makes that car so hard to control when you're already pitched that far sideways. So J.D. Brown collected, Adam Elby also gets a piece of it, so a couple guys getting tangled up in that one as Eden still shows the way, 12 down, closing in on the halfway point here, 23 laps to go, 23 car, Kenny Miller in second, Timothy Smith in third, Braden Eiler fourth, and Hayden Cardwell in fifth. Biggest mover so far in this one is Kendall Tucker, started 12th, he's up into 7th. Also Evan C. from 20th up to 12th in car 33. So a couple guys making some moves here as we look to come back to green this time by.
Keep your eye on Mason Hannigan now that Majulis is a couple of positions in behind and J.D. Brown's at the back. Mason Hannigan might be the Pied Piper for the inside line to try to bring it towards the front of the field. We are back underway. Keep your eye on those drivers trying to navigate to that outside line. Saw Timothy Smith try to do something to the inside, but for the most part, top 5 single file as they continue to work around here.
And Kenny Miller keeping pace right now with James Edens. When does he try and make a move here to take the lead away, lose a little bit of ground that time down the back straightaway? It's just so hard, Tim, to be consistent on the cushion here at Fairbury. We see how many guys have hit the wall. A couple guys like to cheat the entry. A couple guys like to get in right on the cushion there, entering the corner. And they both have their, pros and cons here. Right now, James Edens is choosing to cheat it on entry and get to the cushion on exit.
Yeah, Smith got the wall a couple of laps ago, and Eiler's trying to do the same thing and get a little bit of momentum. Your top 2 trying to break away and make it a race amongst themselves as Kenny Miller looking to make something happen with James Edens for the top spot.
Blake Majulis looks strong here as well. That car is straight around the inside of the racetrack. He goes trying to go by the number 12 Alex Bergeron for the 8th position. Majulis started back in 16th. A good run right now, but up front, man, oh man, these guys cannot get any closer. Kenny Miller looking extremely good. He'll look to the inside. Here comes a slider for the lead. Kenny Miller takes it away from James Edens, and now the floodgates are open. Here we go as they battle for the lead.
Edens able to get it back to the inside and take that lead position back away, but now that Kenny Miller's done it, he knows what's going to happen. I'm sure he's put that in the memory bank as the yellow flag has flown for the 3rd time this evening. So we'll slow the field down once again as the caution light comes out.
It's Bergeron involved in this one, gets turned head on down the front straightaway. The number 12 car, the points leader, got hit by Kendall Tucker coming across the start-finish line, and he spins into the wall. There's a couple 360s here. Here's the replay, Tim.
Alex Bergeron, oh yeah, that right across the nose. Was that Kendall Tucker maybe? Yes. To get back going again, and man, he was way out of shape the corner before, and so you have problems for Bergeron.
You had problems for Smith.
Yeah, you had problems for Tyler Schell earlier too. You've got your championship contenders going back here. It's opened the huge door for Smith.
Absolutely huge. I mean, coming into the night, Tyler Schell 26 points behind Bergeron for the top spot. Smith was 8 points behind him. And so if things do not work out well here for Schell or Bergeron at the end of this thing, Timothy Smith could very well, if things maybe get a little bit better for him, come out with the championship lead. Kendall Tucker, he's now up into the 8th position. He was, 9 points behind Smith, so things have been blown wide open tonight at Fairbury as we go back to green.
And that last run, Smith was able to kind of find some insurance by himself and run in 3rd, but Eiler looks to the inside quickly of Timothy Smith to try to pick up position number 3. Top 4 trying to break away early here, but the top 2 have been the class of the field so far, with Smith hanging on in that 3rd place position.
Yeah, Timothy Smith, I think he knows what's happened behind him, and he is just trying to hang on for the 3rd position and have a good points night here as they come across the line. 23 down, 12 to go. Eden still with the lead. Miller, a little bit of a tap to the wall in turn number 2, loses a little bit of ground in the 52 car, but once Miller gets about 5 laps strung together, looks like he might have a little bit better car in the 52 of Edens.
As you look middle of the pack, that's Mason Hannigan, Blake Majulis to the inside, still trying to make that inside line work. Evan C. right there as well. That's around the 10th place position or so, or just outside the top 5. You got Ryan Avila there as well, trying to make a good run out of this one, but Blake Majulis has been stuck to that inside line all night long.
Yeah, he's got the wing pulled way back, and he's made some adjustments to that car to try and run the bottom like that. Super straight to the inside of Mason Hannigan, trying to crack into the top 5 as they go 3 wide with Cardwell on the top side of the racetrack. But Julius takes it away. He's up into the 6th spot. Great run tonight from 16th to 6th, and now try to go by for P5.
May have been a wee bit of contact there between C and Tucker in that mix as Avila trying to get there too. Majulis to the inside of Cardwell. They swap position number 5. Hannigan's been there hanging on, trying to get what he can for a top 5 run. This is fantastic racing in the middle of the pack. Keep your eye up in front, though. It's about 5 laps after that restart, and Kenny Miller to the inside looking for the lead.
He wants it, and he wants it now. Kenny Miller takes the spot away. James Edens back to the inside. 5 laps to go that time by the line. Here at Fairbury, Kenny Miller trying to win his second race of his rookie campaign. James Edens trying to go back-to-back here. I-55 and Fairbury. Down the front straightaway, 4 laps to go.
As they continue on, Kenny Miller has made 2 attempts to the inside, the slide job up the hill, and Edens has been able to get it back both times. They come by to 4 laps to go this time. The 23 of Kenny Miller trying to make it stick. If he can get one more, here he goes to the inside.
How many times we saw this with the World of Outlaws late model series? It was Cardwell and C in the closing laps of that one. Tonight, it's Edens and Miller as Fairbury looks to set up another phenomenal finish. Down the back straightaway, Kenny Miller tries to work the middle this time. Edens to the top. 2 to go this time by the line.
Kenny Miller's going to have another opportunity here to get up to James Edens if he can make it happen. Timothy Smith sits back in third, waiting for something to happen with these top 2. Edens going to see the white flag first. Final lap, bring us home, Chase.
1 to go for James Edens. Miller with a good run down the back stretch. Does he do anything with it? Nope. Edens goes to the middle, and it'll be back-to-back victories for the driver out of Santa Rosa, California. James Edens wins tonight at Fairbury Speedway. Kenny Miller with a second-place run. Timothy Smith in third. Braden Eiler fourth. And from dead last, 20th on the grid to 5th, Evan C. drives through the field for a top 5.
What a finish for those top 2. Kenny Miller had about 3 really good opportunities to send it into the inside and take the advantage and just could not make it happen when it mattered. James Edens picks up a huge victory this evening. Kenny Miller, Timothy Smith, Braden Eiler with a really good run as well, and then Evan C. from the back into position number 5. Blake Majulis used that inside line and got up to position number 6 from 16th place on the grid. Mason Hannigan, great run this evening to 7th. Ryan Avila, Kendall Tucker, and Hayden Cardwell. What was a battle for 5th at one point was a battle for 9 and 10 at the end of this one. Tyler Ducharme in 11th, Adam Elby in 12th, Logan Rumsey 13th, Austin Settleman and Bryce Lucius, your top 15. Tyler Schell came in 2nd in the point standings this evening. Alex Bergeron came in as the leader. They finished 16th and 17th respectively. J.D. Brown in 18th. Aiden Bierlein and Clayton Davies, your field. This is going to shake up the point standings huge as James Edens, Timothy Smith, they've got the momentum on their side. Kenny Miller does too. And man, what a finish this one. And I believe, Chase, you've caught up with our winner, James Edens.
James Edens does it again here tonight, back-to-back weekends for the driver of the Swindell Speed Lab Esports number 52. And James, wow, good race there. Kenny it seemed like he was a little bit better when the run got going after about 5 laps, but you were able to fend off a couple challenges from him and pick up your 2nd win in a row. And it was a good night to do it with a couple guys at the top of the points having tough nights.
Yeah, for sure. It's always good to get a win. Yeah, Kenny definitely seemed to have, after about 5 laps, like you said, he was definitely better. He was just running it a lot harder than I was. I was just, trying to keep it out of the wall for 35 laps, and we were able to do that.
Well, back-to-back victories for you after the win at I-55. It looks like things are really starting to turn up here for that 52 car here. Next week, heading to Cedar Lake Speedway. Do you think you can contend for another one there?
We sure hope so. We've had really good speed all year, just, had some bad luck for a couple races there. And, I think we're finally getting to show how good we are, especially when it comes feature time. So, we'll just keep chugging along and see what we can do.
3rd podium of the season and 2nd victory of the season. Nice job tonight, James.
Thanks, sir.
James Edens P1 here tonight after a relatively dominating performance besides a couple of attacks from the driver of car number 23, Kenny Miller, the driver out of Morgantown, Pennsylvania, standing by with us now. And, well, Kenny, an impressive run here tonight. Your rookie season continues to look very good here after that win at Lincoln, a 2nd-place run here tonight. And James talked about it there. After about 5 laps, it looked like you had the car to at least contend with him. You made a couple of moves, but they just weren't able to quite stick.
Yeah, James got me off the start there. I was actually just talking to Tim about how hard it is to start on the bottom here. But yeah, once I kind of calmed myself down 5 laps into that last run, I definitely closed on him. It was just super tough to make a pass on him, and definitely didn't want to dirty up James there. He's a great driver, and I got a lot of respect for him.
You've had a pretty decent season so far, and this is your third top 10, your second top 5. How would you evaluate so far your rookie season? Obviously, that win was huge, but how would you evaluate your season so far here as we've just gotten past the halfway mark?
Yeah, so far, I think we're having a great rookie season. I think my nerves kind of get the best of me sometimes later in these races here. Just probably with my inexperience, but overall, I'm extremely happy with how we've been running, and hopefully we can carry it into Cedar Lake.
All right, Kenny, we'll talk to you next week. Thanks.
Thanks, Chase. See you.
Kenny Miller with another good run here tonight. P2 driving car number 23. And our third place finisher, a phenomenal points night for the driver of car number 86, Timothy Smith. And, well, Timothy, I know it's not a win like we're all waiting for you to do, but a P3 when it really counts the most. Your closest championship rivals having issues here tonight. Was that in the back of your mind midway through that race, seeing that they had issues and seeing that you were in prime position?
No, this place is too technical to look at your black box or anything, but I wasn't paying attention. I was just running my own race like always. Just trying to stay consistent, smooth, fast, and let everything fall in place, which it did for us tonight. We got another podium. Like you said, didn't get another win, but another good points run.
Now, I can tell you unofficially that you have taken the points lead with the World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series. You have a 2-point advantage over the two-time series champion Alex Bergeron heading into Cedar Lake. Now, with that on your mind, I know we have to wait 7 days till the next race, but does that change how you approach the rest of this year?
No, it doesn't. We got to approach it the same exact way. You don't want to change what's working. Obviously, it's working, so we got to keep at it and just keep going at it. I just can't thank my guys enough to get me ready for all the races, and my parents and everybody, all my cousins and everybody just helping me out. M9 and 129.
All right, Timothy, it was a whole lot of fun to watch you, and things are going to get good down the stretch. We'll see you next week at Cedar Lake.
Yeah, for sure. See you, man.
All right, Timothy Smith, P3 here tonight, and he is the new points leader with the World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series. Tim, the top 5, separated by just 34 markers with 4 races to go.
Yeah, we are going to come down to a stretch run and see these 5 go at it for a championship. 15th is now within 5 points, I think 15th and 16th, so there's a lot to fight for in these next 4 weeks of the season. Tonight, you saw some of those championship drivers have issues. You saw, obviously, James Edens with a strong run. Kenny Miller, huge run there as well. To try to take it away. This sets up really well for the remaining 4 races. And next week, you mentioned Cedar Lake.
Yeah, Cedar Lake always puts on great racing, located out there in New Richmond, Wisconsin. A regular stop on the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series schedule in real life, and it's been a staple ever since it's been introduced to the iRacing simulation as well here. As you know, next Monday night, January 9th, 9 p.m., this championship battle will roll on. Timothy Smith, Alex Bergeron, Tyler Schell, and then behind them, I want to say it is Kendall Tucker and James Edens, the top 5. As we take a look here at the point standings right now, look how close it is there between the top 5. Obviously, these are unofficial, but Timothy Smith, man, we knew that once we saw both Schell and Bergeron have an issue, we knew Smith was going to be, if not in the lead, very close.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun few weeks to see who is going to take away this championship and who is going to be able to make that championship drive into the dirt track at Charlotte to take away the crown. Exciting night of racing at Fairbury, lived up to its expectations. Congratulations to James Edens' second win on this 2022-23 World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series powered by iRacing season. That's going to do it for us this evening. On behalf of Zach Johnson, Chase Rodman, and all our iRacing production staff, want to thank you for joining us on a Monday night. We'll be back with you next Monday night and every Monday night in the month of January. Until next time, keep the hammer down, and we'll see you at the track.